Why did my mother-in-law's face go pale when she saw the receipt in my husband's jacket? I was sitting at my mother-in-law's dining table, pushing pot roast around my plate while she lectured me about how I needed to move forward from my mother's death. 6 months had passed since Mom died, and Evelyn still couldn't help herself. Each Sunday dinner, another opportunity to remind me that dwelling on grief wasn't how her family handled things. More pot roast? Evelyn offered, though her tone suggested I'd been playing with my food long enough. I was reaching for the food anyway when Jared's jacket slipped off the chair next to me, where he placed it before taking a work call. Business cards, parking stubs, and receipts scattered all over the floor. My hand moved before my brain could stop it, and the receipts hit me like cold water. The hotel downtown, room service for 2, champagne, strawberries. March 18th, 9:43 p.m. My mother died March 18th at 10:17 p.m. The timestamps were burned into my memory because I'd stared at that hospital clock, willing it to stop to give me just 5 more minutes. The night Jared said he was stuck in traffic coming from his business meeting. The night I called him 20 times begging him to hurry because Mom was asking for him. She loved Jared like her own son and kept saying his name. I held her hand alone for 3 hours telling her he was almost there. What's wrong? Evelyn's sharp voice cut through my fog. You look like you're going to faint. She came around and plucked the receipt from my trembling fingers. I watched her face transform from irritation to confusion to something I'd never seen before. Murderous rage. He told me he was racing through traffic and hated himself for not being there to comfort you, she whispered, gripping the edge of her antique table. Her voice cracked. But no, this hotel is 6 minutes from the hospital. That son of a bitch, Evelyn said. He's planning that memorial dinner for your mother next week. All your family will be there. I nodded because I couldn't speak. He wants to give a speech about being there for you through the hardest time of your life. Evelyn smiled, but it was scary. I have a friend who works security at that hotel. She can get the footage from that night. My hands were shaking now too. We'll make a beautiful memorial video for the dinner. Photos of your mother's life and then some special footage at the end. My son needs to learn what happens when you abandon family. Over the next week, Evelyn changed completely. She called me every morning and brought me lunch at work. She went with me to see lawyers and helped me find an apartment. She got the hotel footage and we watched it once. Jared walking in with a redhead at 7:30 p.m. laughing and kissing. The timestamp bright and clear. The memorial dinner came on a rainy Saturday. Jared shook hands and hugged everyone, playing the devoted husband role perfectly. He kept his hand on my back like we were united in grief. My aunt whispered that I was lucky to have such a supportive husband. I almost threw up. Evelyn clinked her glass. Before dinner, my son would like to say some words about Donna. Jared stood up. Thank you all for coming to honor Donna's memory, he began. She was the strongest woman I knew besides my own mother. He smiled at Evelyn, who didn't smile back. When she got sick, I promised her I'd always protect her daughter. He looked at me with fake tears in his eyes. The night she passed, I'll never forgive myself for being stuck in that horrible traffic. I tried so hard to get there. Donna was asking for me and I failed her. My aunts were crying now. Jared kept going. I still have nightmares about that traffic jam. I called the hospital begging them to let me talk to her, but she was too weak. He wiped his eyes again. At least I can honor her memory by taking care of her daughter like I promised. Evelyn stood up slowly. How beautiful, Jared. I've prepared a memorial video to celebrate Donna's life. The lights dimmed and the screen lit up. Photos of Mom filled the screen set to her favorite song. Everyone was crying watching her life in pictures. Then the music stopped. The screen went black for 2 seconds. Security footage started playing. The date, March 18th, 7:32 p.m., glowed bright white. Jared walked into the hotel lobby with his arm around a blonde woman. They were kissing by the elevator. The room went silent. Jared jumped up so fast his chair fell over. What is this? He shouted. The footage kept playing. The woman's hand on his chest, his hand on her butt. My aunt gasped and covered her mouth. The timestamp changed to 10:47 p.m. Jared and the woman leaving through the lobby. Mom had been dead for 30 minutes. Turn it off! Jared screamed and ran toward the screen. My cousin blocked him hard. You son of a bitch! My aunt shrieked. Donna died asking for you. The room exploded. Jared looked at me desperately. Baby, please, I can explain. This isn't what it looks like. Evelyn walked over and stood beside me. You're done here, Jared. Get out before Donna's brothers do something we'll all regret. Jared looked around wildly at the room full of angry faces. His perfectly styled hair was messed up and his face was red and blotchy. Mom, please, he begged. You're not my son anymore, she said quietly, and that seemed to break him worse than the yelling. He ran for the door. I haven't seen him since the divorce.